What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the opinionated hippie, continuing my deep dive into Neil Young's studio catalog. And today I'd like to talk about Live at the Fillmore East. This is a live album representing his run of shows in March of 1970 at the Fillmore East in New York City. This is he and Crazy Horse on tour for Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. During that run of shows, I think there were a handful of them. There was an acoustic set, an electric set. During the electric set, over the course of the entire run, I think he played 7 songs. Not only 7 songs, but like the same 7 songs over the course of those, I think 4 shows, maybe 4 shows. And what we get here is we get one version of each of those songs minus Cinnamon Girl. So there is no Cinnamon Girl, but the other 6 electric songs that were played, there is a version on here. This is a fantastic release. Absolutely amazing. Don't know if I said this, but it is released separately. It's also part of Archives Volume 1. So if you don't have this and Archives Volume 1, it's a good buy. But you get 43 minutes of electric Neil with Crazy Horse. 6 songs, and it's pretty much set up. I believe there was also a vinyl release. And pretty much you get 2 shorter sort of Crazy Horse, Neil Young rock tracks. Then you get a really long extended guitar workout. Then you get 2 more short songs and a really long extended guitar workout. The band, this version of Crazy Horse, Danny Whitten is present on guitar and vocals. And Jack Nitzsche is on the electric piano. And Nietzsche's presence is not, pretty much the times you can hear Nitzsche the most are during the 2 epic guitar jams, Down by the River and Cowgirl in the Sand. And he's pretty much just back there dropping some chords and playing some rhythm. But it does add an extra textural layer that is normally not there for these like epic guitar Crazy Horse jams. And it's pretty low in the mix, but at those moments when Neil is maybe not just going full blown crazy and the rhythm section's a little more spread out, you can hear Jack coming in with these chords, and it adds a nice flavor, especially to Cowgirl in the Sand. It's also present in Down by the River, and he's there for all of them, but it's really those 2 songs where it really stands out. The other song, the 7th song, Cinnamon Girl, which was performed, I believe there is a live version of that. It was at one time, and I think it's still up there on the Neil Young Archives website. It's a lot of stuff on there. But yeah, I believe there's a live version on there. If not, let me know, but I think it's still up there. But yeah, 6 songs, opens up with Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. Awesome song. Absolutely fantastic. Great little slightly country, folky, Neil Young, late 60s rocker. Love the vibe, love the lyrics, love just the overall groove. Band sounds great. Great opening number. Great way to like ease yourself. Not even ease yourself. Great way to just kick off the festivities because it's an absolutely awesome song. Next, we get Winter Long, which would not be officially released until Decade. Absolutely, this song, every time I hear it, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but Winter Long, that opening musical sort of idea, and then the first verse, especially of the lyrics, remind me of something else. I don't know what it is, but every time I hear this, I'm like, I want to sing something else or I want to hum something else, but my mind never makes that click into what this song sounds like. So if you're familiar with Winter Long, or if you go and listen to Winter Long and it reminds you of another song and you can tell me what that is, please drop it in the comments because maybe it's what I'm thinking. But I like Winter Long, kind of I don't know, it feels like a deep cut. It just has that deep cut vibe. Like it's got a really cool vibe about it. But yeah, it's really neat to hear this. And yeah, the audience would never have heard this before unless they had seen one of the previous shows. And then after that, they do a 12.5-minute Down by the River. That's just absolutely fantastic. The guitar playing on this is just spectacular. The rhythm section, the band, everything about this Down by the River is absolutely amazing. And the Down by the River and the Cowgirl in the Sand, trying to come up with like an analogy for the guitar playing in this, because essentially they're both the same structure. You get a verse, chorus, and then you get this long epic stretch of guitar playing. And it's not really one long guitar solo centered around one idea or one motif. It seems like each of the breaks in each of these songs, Down by the River and Cowgirl in the Sand, it's just this space to solo. And it almost seems like each of the breaks is like 2, sometimes 3, like mini solos based around like an idea. And it reminded me of, I watched a lot of Olympic surfing this past summer. And Olympic surfing is kind of similar to like skateboarding events, where you don't have like a single run that you get scored on. You have like a block of time. And during this block of time, like in skateboard, you have 3 minutes to do as many tricks as you can and check off as many, like, hey, he did this, he did this, he did this, she did this type boxes. And so it's not like, so if you mess up, you can make it up because you have X number of minutes. But this reminds me more of the surfing, because there you had a whole 30 minutes. And during this 30 minutes, like probably half of it, if not more, was out waiting for the right wave. You don't want to catch the wrong wave and get carried into the shore and have to paddle back out. But the interesting thing about the surfing was, it would seem like there would be these, and this makes sense if you've ever been surfing, like they would go 6 or 7 minutes without anything. Then there'd be like this 5-minute stretch where they'd be able to like catch 2 or 3 waves, maybe even ride one all the way in, get back out there, hop on another excellent one, and get a couple runs in that you could get scored. That's what Down by the River and Cowgirl in the Sand remind me of. It's like the vocals, the verses, when Neil's singing, that's him out there waiting for the right wave, just kind of waiting, oh no, not yet. But then whenever he finds the right wave, that's when we head off into the solo. And like each solo is like a different run. And like some of the solos are a lot more like a little more frantic and back and forth. And Neil has a little more like just more sort of hectic ideas going on, and it's kind of like a surfer trying to maybe squeeze something out of a wave that's dying, but you're doing these cutbacks and trying to like inch every foot out of it, and that's what a couple of these solos sound like. And then there's other solos where it's like he's a little more patient, he's drawing out these notes, he's even dropping a little bit of effect action in there. And those almost seem like those like surfing runs where you like the waves are just, you're able to like get under like the curl and just ride straight for a long time. And you're kind of not even having to work. You're just like going with the wave. So that's what these remind me of. Really long, Neil taking his time. He's got this room to work. The rhythm section supporting him. Nitzsche's pounding away these chords. Witten's on guitar, just dropping these awesome rhythm, being an awesome just, rhythm guitar player. But they're amazing. Just epic, epic guitar solos. Just sit back and watch and just enjoy and just listen. And Down by the River is absolutely fantastic. So surfing. So after Down by the River, they play Wandering. The one that he would have a hit with in the 80s off Everybody's Rockin'. The one that he made a video for. I remember that video. I think that's one where they cut out the frames and it had that herky-jerky type thing going. Dropping a Wonderin' way back here in 1970. I think he recorded it he tried to record it for either the After the Gold Rush sessions and then again for Tonight's the Night, I believe, and then just shelved it, and then it popped up again in the 80s. Awesome to hear this song. It's just a great little, it sounds awesome. Then we get a Come On Baby, Let's Go Downtown. This is the version that's actually on Tonight's the Night. Neil edited out one of the lines in the chorus. The chorus would have that, come on, baby, let's go downtown, let's go, that part. And then there would be another line that he took out, which maybe because I've heard Tonight's the Night so many times and I've heard the other version so many times, it seems like it was a good decision. I think it's an awkward line. I don't think it really works, but it's, come on, baby, let me turn you around. Let me turn you around. I think that's what it is. I can never get it right because it's not a natural flow and it doesn't flow off one's tongue, even when one knows what the words are. But here you get the full version with that part. But I believe this is the actual performance, not just these shows, but this performance itself is the one that is on Tonight's the Night. Yes, it is. And finally, after that, we get a Cowgirl in the Sand. 16 minutes. Some of that includes some applause at the end. Some little, I think they play some James Taylor over the loudspeaker. But yeah, I think this is the one where they play James Taylor over the loudspeaker. I've been listening to a lot of early 70s Neil lately, and I think this is the one where we get a little bit of JT at the very end. I should look that up. Yeah, we do. But yeah, Cowgirl in the Sand, it's epic. They drop into it heavy. It's like going like firing on all cylinders from the get-go. Neil's solos are absolutely fantastic. He's a guitar god at this point in his career. You know, we have like 2 songs that total close to 30 minutes, and you know, more than half of those is just him doing the Neil thing on guitar, bending those 6 strings and making them sing. Absolutely amazing stuff. Gets a lot of little mini runs in there on that surfboard. Some of them pretty epic. Probably gonna get gold. I would have given him gold based upon what I've heard here. So yeah, this is a fantastic release. 44 minutes of just Neil Young and Crazy Horse, early 1970. You know, I'm sure that's what he's doing most of the show, just jamming away. Oh, and his opening act right there. Miles Davis, I believe was the opening act. So imagine going to being there that week of shows. That's quite a run. But yeah, it's pretty fantastic. You can get it alone. If you don't have Archives 1, there's other really good stuff in there. I highly recommend this release. Yeah, if you have thoughts on it, let me know. Those are my thoughts. Subscribe, like, share, comment, do those things. And yeah, this is pretty fantastic stuff. And the sound is amazing. Sounds absolutely fantastic. Like, whether it was Neil, whether it was his manager, whether it was the Fillmore East, whoever was in charge of recording Neil's early stuff, like, all the love to you, because to have these documented, to have them sound as incredible as they sound, it's pretty awesome. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Peace. Go listen to some Neil. Go listen to this. It's amazing. Talk to you later.